Hi, my name is Pat Hagan. I've got you for the next 2 days, and we're going to discuss fixed income analytics as used by the banks. The main purpose of these talks is to take all the stuff that you've learned in school and add that extra 10% so you can slot into the desks as a desk quant. Okay, so let me start out with the basics of fixed income research, which is delta risk. To anybody in the business, I'm sure you've noticed that this is a notation-rich business. Lots of notation, so let's start by getting our notation exactly right. Okay. In my notation, t equals 0 is always today. Little t equals 0. So when I say we're at little t, I'd like you to imagine there's some date little t in the future. And on that day, suppose I agree with you that I'll loan you $1 at some future date, capital T, and you'll pay me back the next day. The amount of interest I expect to receive is known as the instantaneous forward rate for date capital T as seen at date little t. Okay. In particular, if we're sitting here at this date little t, and I agree to pay you out the money in the next date, that's known as a short rate. Now, suppose for a moment that we knew the entire instantaneous forward rate curve for all the maturities capital T. Okay. Well, then we can do a lot of fixed income deals. For example, in a forward rate agreement, well, we're sitting here at this date little t in the future, and I agree to loan you out $1 at the start date of the deal, T naught, and you'll pay me back at some end date of the deal, say T sub F. Well, economically, that's exactly equivalent to us making a series of one-day agreements. On day one, I agree to loan you the $1. On day two, you agree to pay me back the $1 plus the interest. I agree to turn around and loan you back out the $1 plus the interest. You agree to pay me back the next day the $1 plus the interest on the interest, et cetera, et cetera. So at the end of this period, the amount of money I expect to receive is e to the sum, or integral, from the start date to end date over all the instantaneous forward rate curves. And this integral is over all the different maturities because, again, a forward rate agreement is just like a series of one-day agreements.